Welcome back to Corporate Time.
On the line with us right now, this is huge, and we only have him for a split second. So let's get out where he's going to be, because I want you guys to scoop up these tickets. At the Walt Disney Theater at the beautiful Dr. Phillips here in Orlando on the 7th, you can see Daryl Hall. And on the line with us right now is Daryl Hall. How you doing, man?
I am very good, very good. Get ready to come to Orlando.
Hey, we appreciate you giving us a little bit of time. And Tom, I know you had some questions for Daryl right off the top here. Have you been to Orlando before? Have you been to the Dr. Phillips?
Not to the Dr. Phillips, but I've been to Orlando many, many times. Yes, the answer is yes.
Well, Daryl, first let's talk about your solo album, D. I know you recorded it in the Bahamas, and it's funny because right before we talked to you, we were looking at the studio, because in my mind, when you said it was recorded in the studio in Bahamas, I imagine like you looked out at turquoise water.
Yeah.
This kind of just a regular recording studio in the Bahamas.
Yeah, what's it like recording there and breaking it up over 18 months?
Well, it's great to record there. I have a house there, so it's effortless for me to do, and I'm working with one of my close friends. One of my best friends, Dave Stewart, and we just had a good time. You know, we just started doing it, and we're making literally what I always say is we made something out of nothing. You know, I had a couple of songs, but most of these songs we wrote together on the spot, and we played almost all the instruments ourselves. And it was great. And like you say, looking out at the turquoise water. So
well,
what's bad about that?
It's crazy too that you guys went and over time you would go and do sessions and kind of knock it out. Is it easier to do a record like that where you can really sit down with your friend and get some good time in, than it was like maybe earlier in your career when you were having the pressure of people saying you needed a record out immediately?
It's a completely different situation. It couldn't be more different. In the 80s, I'd be sitting in these studios in New York City in these dark boxes, and I wouldn't even know whether it was day or night. And there was, as you said, there was always a pressure. You got to, the record company wants you to put this record out, and we need a new record, blah blah blah. And I went through that period of time for a long time, and this is a whole different world. I'm just doing it on my own time, in my own pace, and I think the results are superior, if you want the truth.
Yeah, the record's fantastic. Yes, Tom.
So, Daryl, this is completely a random question, but are you familiar with the Netflix documentary, The Greatest Night in Pop?
Well, I know about it, yeah, sure, of course.
Because we were talking about it because it was the recording of We Are the World in 1985, and you were there. And I'm just curious if you remember that, like any details about the night. I know it was a while ago, but what was your recollection of that event?
Well, I mean, it was. I've told this story a number of times, but I'll tell you again. It was a very unusual. I've never really experienced anything close to it, because it was this gathering of people who were all at the top of their game, basically superstars, all these people, and before we went into the studio, Quincy, God bless him, God rest his soul, he said nobody allowed in but the artist, and that was the first we all heard about it, so we all filed in and kind of looking at each other, and a lot of people didn't know each other, but they knew everybody knew who everybody was, and nobody knew what to do because people were used to having their assistants around and their entourage and all that kind of thing. And so everybody kind of reverted to junior high, man. It was like 8th grade or something. Everybody, and Quincy became the choir director, the chorus director. And everybody stood there, and it was on the bleachers or whatever, the risers, and people were talking and making jokes, and it was all very like high school kind of a thing, and it was very, very that's as good as I can describe it.
That's crazy. I mean,
it's so bizarre because in '85, pre-internet, pre-social media, like TMZ, so it's like this could never happen again with that amount of gigantic worldwide superstars all together in one place. Like it's just. It will never happen again.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of history, Daryl, when you start Daryl's House, live from Daryl's House, when you start doing this in like '07, and it's a web series at this point, and then I started seeing it on Palladia, the television channel that is no longer. When we started seeing these sort of things, did you know it was going to go 17 years down the tracks and be like a music entity that people like crave and love?
Well, I never know what's going to happen. That's one of the things about what it is that I do. You never know you don't know when something's going to be a hit. You don't know when something's going to be a flop. You don't know if something's going to last forever or stop immediately. It's all in the air, man. So all I knew is that I really wanted to do it. It was completely my idea. And I knew that I was up to it. It's something that I'm really good at is interacting with and collaborating with people and working within a lot of genres. And so I decided that it's a strength that I have. So I said, let's go for it. And it was what surprised me about it was how many people immediately said they wanted to do the show. People that I would never have expected would want to come to upstate New York into my house and sit there for all day and play songs without an audience.
But it
was amazing.
It's totally incredible. I mean, the episode with Chromeo, which they're not the most well-known band, but combine them with you, and I think I've probably seen that episode over 1,000 times, and I thank you for that and the fact that you continue to do it. And go find the one with Howard Jones. That's the last one. He's on tour right now, and you can scoop up these tickets and see them. St. Augustine Amphitheater on the 14th. November 11th, you got the Baycare Sound in Clearwater. November 9th at the Hard Rock Live Hollywood. And November 7th, again, here in town at the Walt Disney Theater at Dr. Phillips. One more question, Tom.
Daryl, last question. Do you have song ideas pop into your head throughout the day? And I imagine you jump on your iPhone or your smartphone and then write them down, or do you specifically sit down to write and that's your process? I'm just curious of your writing process.
I have ideas that come to me all the time, every day, as you say. But I generally don't write. I used to write on the spot. I complete songs and all that. But now I tend to just hold the ideas and wait for somebody like Dave to get together with him and say, I got all these ideas. Here's a song. Here's a phrase. Here's a title. Here's a this. Here's a that, and let it all come out in one situation. One controlled, contained situation.
Yeah, and one more final thing, because I know we got to get you out of here, but is there a type of music that you think needs a little more shine that you like? Is there a genre that you feel like needs some love? Because I'm a music lover, and you just said it yourself. You work in so many different genres. Is there something that you're listening to now that everybody should give a little more love to?
I don't know, man. I don't really listen a lot, to tell you the truth. I'm not a great audience. I have all this music in my head constantly. But I mean, I'm a soul. At my heart, I'm a soul person from the day, back in the day. I grew up with that music. I like harmonies. I like grooves. I like funk. I like all that kind of thing. And if you want to listen to anything that I like, that's what you listen to.
I love it. Hey, Daryl, thank you so much for the time. Enjoy Orlando, and we hope that you and Howard have nothing but the best on your tour.
Well, thank you so much.
All right, man. Take care. That is Daryl Hall, live from the road somewhere. I don't know what to say about that. I was very nervous. My nose started sweating.
He's a gigantic musician. It's
Yeah, and when you're doing the junket and you try to be respectful to it, and I hate that because back when I was younger, I used to be like, nah, we'll push it until they force him on.
That's what I want to do.
Yeah, I know, and I feel so
Every
bad.
time I'm like, I look at the time, I'm like, I'm going to ask a long-ass question. Billy will be freaking out. His publicist that we just promised will keep it short. He'll freak out.
That's the thing is that
Daryl doesn't care. because
he
he's
does
just
not.
going back to back.
And he shouldn't care. Like, if you're on the
No.
phone, you shouldn't care. Let the other people worry about that.
I'm gonna ask him a long question until the publicist pops in and starts beeping the phone.
I'm going to wait until the very last second. I'm going to say, Oat says what? Oat says what? Don't give me an Oat says what. You get into trouble. How much trouble would I have gotten in trouble with Billy if I did an Oat says what?
Well, you said trouble. I mean, what are you gonna email? I get lots of emails.
No, it shuts down what we get the next time. Because a lot of these publicists have...
They're like, just don't do it again. We're like, okay.
No, that stuff, I really believe in that stuff. You know, Shohei
No, I know,
Ohtani,
yeah.
like Okay, I'll give you a little story. So there was a Japanese news station, I guess, this is crazy, published like where he's living in his house. And World Series, they win, and dude walks over to get an interview, and Shohei sees him and recognizes him. He's like, nah. You're done, dog. No
you're
interview for you.
blacklisted?
Yeah, he's like, you're blacklisted.
I'm surprised he knew.
I'm Big Shohei.
Like, yeah, the fact that he knew.
He knows everything. Very private people. Very private people. He knew everything.
Because if anybody walks up to me, I'll be like, I don't know. I'm just talking to you.
Who are you? He will get in the limo. They drive you to your death.
Oh, you're from alt-right state? Oh, God.
Oh, my God.
Anyway. all right.
Proud Boy Illustrated. Can we get a comment? It says what?
We will see you tomorrow. Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. We are live on Twitch and YouTube. And if you like watching podcasts, we'd love for you to come over and watch us at Tom and Dan Live.
A couple things, Cows and Cabs charity event. It's in Winter Park.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically a huge, super fancy charity event.
Cows meaning steaks, and
Cabs
cab meaning Cabernet.
Wine,
Cabernet.
yeah.
Okay.
Wine, beer, spirits, a bunch of restaurants. It's it's all for charity, but it's basically all you could eat and drink.
I've never been,
yeah,
and I
yeah.
hear tell that
We're
it's
going.
a super fancy party.
Yeah. On,
so should I wear
Winter Park Saturday?
Should I wear my Mexican pointy dancing boots? I have those long Mexican pointy dancing boots that my wife bought me. Is that appropriate?
That's fine.
I'm going to wear those, and I'm going to light up the night.
And also the food truck fiesta is this Sunday,
Yes,
and
sir.
Eric is going to be out there from 3 to 8 p.m. So head by the Sanford for the food truck fiesta.
Also, another thing that Eric started doing at our tent that's new, and we're just testing it out, he will braid your hair if you buy a shirt.
Yes, yeah.
He will. If you buy
Yeah.
a Tom and Dan shirt, 3 Rasta beads.
yeah. You have to sit down in the
You have to
seat
sit
of her,
down. And it's weird
yeah.
seeing what appears to be a Castleberry biker braid your hair, but he knows what he's doing. He's really good.
Yeah. And his beard is a little bit braided,
Yeah.
so you know he's good at it.
He looks like kind of like a Jack Sparrow vibe going on. All right. Is this a weird job?
Yeah.
And I made them a special song.
Yeah,
Do you want the special song?
Is it a funky?
It is a funky
weird
song,
Okay.
but it's AI, so they might be allergic to it.
All
But
right,
I
all
do
right.
like a good AI song. Here we go. Let's get funky.
What are you doing? What is your job? Are you neat? Are you tidy? Or are you a fat slob? You make lots of money and you sit up in your tower looking down on all the people that are working by the hour. Weird Job Wednesday. Just another Weird Job Wednesday. Oh yes, it's Weird Job Wednesday. Just another Weird Job Wednesday. Thank you, Tom.
Bring the horns in.
Thank you, Tom.
It ends if you just want to
No,
play it.
yeah,
You gonna play it
yeah,
out?
yeah.
Take your flowers. Take your flowers. Here you go.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Tom.
There you go.
For Weird Job Wednesday, we've got the Universal Funk Orchestra. Dizzle Funk, Billy, Chris, and LaRue are on the couch with us. How you guys doing?
All right. Good to see you guys. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having us, guys.
Let's talk funk.
What kind of funk?
You guys have a new album coming out November 23rd.
Yes.
But let's talk about how you guys started. How did the Universal Funk Orchestra start?
Take it away, Chris.
Okay, I knew that was coming my way.
It's coming your way.
This band has been in many different variations, many other bands. So I met Dizzle at least 18, maybe 19 years ago.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
Pretender was Craigslist.
Very much Craigslist.
19 years ago?
It was a
Wasn't
while.
really that long.
It's been close to it, yeah.
Yikes.
But yeah, we met back then, and I was in another band. He was a DJ, and then he ended up joining a band called Family Gang that I ended up joining. So other bandmates, our buddy Jester, who's in the band, who couldn't make it today. they kept doing stuff. Then came, I believe, American Jesus, and I joined that band with them. And then from American Jesus and doing one of your mixtapes, we started UFO in 2017.
Nice. So you guys have been playing music and been doing this together for quite some time. Gotcha. That's awesome.
So, who was the funk influence? Like, why funk? Is it just something you grew up playing? And everybody.
Are you
agreed
asking the origin story of their name?
Yeah. Or
would you guys classify yourselves as a funk band, or what would you classify yourselves as?
Some of us would consider us a funk band. Some of us would not. I consider us a funk band. But I believe we have a more rock influence, especially live. So it goes a little harder than what you would consider funk. But on record, I think we're a pretty funky band.
Yeah, and I think what kind of makes us stand apart is our ability to kind of cross genres. You know, we're able to tailor to a old rock fan as well as a new age hip hop fan.
So you can get some dumpy ass biker dancing too.
We've seen it all.
Like the guy that won America's Got Talent. Have you seen that potato? Oh my God, that big fat potato. He won.
We've seen a little
That's
bit
supposed to
everything.
be our best. That guy.
Absolutely.
Hey, man.
So for those people that don't necessarily understand what funk is, can you describe it and in a way that people can understand that are not, I guess, musically inclined?
Okay.
I mean, I guess if I had to give you a technical definition of what funk is, I mean, it's got a lot of syncopation, a lot of rhythm, a lot of drive, a lot of soul, but also, to quote Prince, if you are describing funk, that ain't funk. So
I used to say about Bret Michaels. I used to say the same thing about Bret Michaels because he would be like, "This rocks, that rocks, this rocks, this rocks." I'm like, dude, if you're saying it rocks, it doesn't rock.
yeah, exactly.
You don't rock if you're like, "This rocks." I'm like, get the hell out of
Bret
here.
Michaels, one more time.
Dove
Yeah,
soaps
I'm
and
glad that
rocks.
Prince said that. So Prince is right. Prince is absolutely right. Somebody asked me yesterday. Prince must be in the air. Somebody asked me yesterday what was my favorite Prince song, and then my wife and I started talking about it. And then we were going all over the place. I believe my wife's favorite Prince song is Diamonds and Pearls.
Gotcha.
And I think I'm more of a Cream man myself.
So you guys are rooted in the Diamonds and
We are
Pearls.
Diamonds and Pearls era. Yeah, that would be,
Gotcha.
we didn't go way too far back.
No, I'm a Prince fanatic, so I cannot pick. I can't.
Yeah,
pick
well,
one
I mean, the
at
guy's,
all.
I mean, I don't even know if you could classify him as a musician. Too big,
Too big.
too smart.
Beyond music.
Bro, but funk
Yeah.
make your booty move.
You know,
Oh, okay.
Okay, so
makes
white-
you,
that's
makes
for the
you
layman.
dance.
So white guy
funk
raises
makes-
his hands as
Think
funk
white
makes your
guy.
booty. Excuse me, black guys, you missed one. Funk makes your
You're getting
booty
too
move.
esoteric here.
Or was he like this, or was he like, great, they didn't say it, I can look cool. Booty move.
We rehearsed it, bro. We rehearsed it. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Are there any instruments besides percussion and bass that a funk band needs?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Does it need horns?
Yeah.
Why do you think I put horns in the song?
Guitar.
No, I
Can't
know.
have
I'm
funk
just
without
asking.
guitar, bro.
Guitar, you know.
Can't have funk without funky electric guitar.
Yeah, I think he's right on that.
I don't know if this counts, but I've been trying to rotate a banjo into the band for a long time.
A banjo? I
And
think
they
you can
will
do that.
not.
You're in the South. You can do that.
It's
You're allowed to
right.
do whatever you want.
They won't let me.
Don't tell him this.
I think Outkast did it. I feel like Outkast broke the rules on what can be funky.
Right.
And I'm a major Outkast fan.
This
So
is
like
true.
when you're listening and you listen to like I was listening this morning to what's the Outkast song? It's like Funkin' Around or like, and they have some weird instrumentation
Yeah.
in there. Yeah. And then Andre even says it. He goes, "Everybody thinks it's cool to be from the South now." You know, he talks sort of like that sometimes. You know.
You can start an Outkast band now because that was spot on.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
That's like a career.
Can you get too crazy in funk? I'm sorry, I'm asking you.
Oh, where
these
you're
are-
wearing a diaper and you're getting out of a spaceship?
Yeah.
No,
George
I wouldn't-
Clinton?
And once again, Parliament fan. So I can't diss on that.
I loved it. That
Yeah.
was one of the first records I bought in DeLand was Parliament Funkadelic, and I didn't understand I had no business owning it.
That's how I got into funk music as a child.
Yeah, I
ran across my parents' collection and I saw Mothership Connection
There you
and
go.
terrified of the album cover.
Yeah,
But-
it didn't make any sense. Like when I was buying records, Invasion of the Doo-Doo Chasers is a record by
Yeah, Funkadelic.
and
That's
they have
amazing.
like
PE
crazy.
Squad.
They have space doo-doo monster folklore.
I
I'm
can say
not
the full
kidding you.
name
Look it all
because
up.
Jack
You can look it
first
all
said about-
up. I'm not making
It's
this
all
up.
facts.
It's
yes.
all facts that they had folklore and characters like people that wore diapers and doo-doo monsters and funk and spaceships and lasers.
Dr.
and-
Funkenstein, Star
Dr.
Child, Sir
Funkenstein.
Nose Devoid of Funk,
Yes.
Mr. Wiggles the Worm. There's a bunch of
This guy's
other
an
ones.
encyclopedia of anything you ask.
I love it.
Okay,
I love it.
So the
God, I'm
crazier,
gonna have to revisit some Parliament now.
Do it.
the more
all the way.
over the top, the better in the funk
Well,
genre.
it depends, because you can do over the top cookie cutter, where it's just like, I've heard this 1,000 times. Why is there
Yeah.
18 horns and
Okay.
14?
Yeah, you could be
vocals?
very derivative of other bands that were original, you know, like for a while, like everybody was really trying to search, like any funk band I noticed in time was trying to search the whole late 60s, very early 70s thing, where my thing has always been late 70s, early 80s, because that's just where I'm from. But like,
Right.
it just really depends on how you swing it. You know, like, you know, there's ways where you can go overboard, like where you have like 1,000 musicians on stage and everybody's trying to solo and it sounds like a cacophony of disaster.
Yeah, now, what's the
Gotcha.
what do you guys feel like is most important? Is it the rhythm section when you're talking about funk?
Yeah.
Is it really rooted in the bass and drums?
But isn't everything rooted in rhythm section?
To me, it is. I'm a drummer, so I'm going to answer that. And my secondary instrument's bass, so of course I'm going to say that because
Yeah.
I love the rhythm
Gotta
section.
have the rhythm.
But like, I feel like the little bits and pieces are that's most important
Absolutely.
too.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
you got to sprinkle sprinkle
Like, you can't have it
the
without
seasoning on it.
saxophone or
So how do you guys
trombone
start
or-
writing the new album? So you want to do you come together with who's the main songwriter? How does it all kind of
We
start?
all are.
Yeah, we all are. They're
Nice.
like everybody kind of like holds their own, well, like, you know, their own in the studio or in practice. So like it really, if somebody has an idea, like for instance, didn't you come up with you came up with the bass line for Regular Vibe?
Sure.
So you brought that up to us, and then he showed us what he had, and then we just start, you know, through practice working on it until
LaRue starts working on the lyrics.
he starts working on the
Chris,
lyrics.
obviously,
I
you
do
know,
my drum
melody,
stuff.
drums.
You know, in the studio I may do like keyboard stuff, but we all kind of bring our parts together. So we're all kind of writing it together.
Nice.
Is it impossible
Yes.
to play funk and be around funk and be dead sober? Because I feel like
It's
it
not
doesn't
impossible.
mix.
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
It's
you're
not
like, a
im-
little bit, even if
it's-
you're
it's not
microdosing.
impossible.
I've
Okay.
heard some of the best musicians, and they don't smoke, they don't drink. It's baffling to me. I could never do it, but some people have the will and the soul, and they can handle it.
Hey, they're just dead sober.
They're
and-
either. I had a dream about this. I figured out who these sober people are. There's only two types of sober people: either recovering addicts,
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say.
or people who are born that never do it. That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Most of the
Yeah,
ones
right.
that I've seen that play at like a very high level
Yeah.
and that have done it for like, let's say 40 years, they went to the edge and almost died and they had to stop.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like a lot of those guys are like, it's
yeah.
just
Had
like
no choice.
the only way they can play music is to do it sober. You
Yeah,
know? Like,
I absolutely I hate the people who are like I tried weed a couple times in college. Not for me.
Yeah.
Those are the guys
like-
who can't do it.
You're
Those are
48
the guys-
years old now. We're talking 28 years ago. You're smoking regs with
It's
seeds
so
in
much
it
better.
in the 80s.
Yeah.
And then you haven't,
Hopping everywhere.
There's weed stores on every block. Go in, get your card.
Yeah.
Get a- Yeah. I mean,
what
it'll
a
blow
hard
your
time
mind.
to be sober. It's a hard time.
For sure.
To take 5 milligrams, it'll make your day better. It'll make your kids' recitals better. Everything better.
Well, I was channeling that. I knew what you were going to say because it was like you're talking about. Look, we're the guys. We can't even walk trick or treating with our kids without being
Yeah.
sober.
But then you do more and more than high every day for years. And you're like, oh.
But you guys are responsibly high. You know what I mean? You're not
I wouldn't
putting
say
it to the
that.
limits and taking your kids out trick or treating.
I never said that.
It's all about maintaining.
You're speaking for me. You're putting words in my
Yeah,
mouth.
I'll
I never,
push it to the limits.
I never said that. I push it
Stop
to the
gaslighting.
Yeah.
I'm trying.
Off the rails.
I get drunk and slap my family around.
Well, can I come over
No,
for
I don't.
Thanksgiving?
I don't do
I'm
that.
towing my boat. I'm like, I shouldn't be doing this.
I'm joking. We don't do any of that. Yeah, let's talk about Weird Job. Where are we?
Okay, back to the band. So you guys are releasing an album on the 23rd of November. When did the last album come out?
This is our first debut album. We've only released singles.
Oh, no,
Nice.
only-
Hey,
okay.
congrats,
Yes.
y'all.
Yeah.
That's huge.
But you guys have been playing for a while now.
Yep.
It's been a while, and yeah, we've just been methodically releasing singles and videos over the few years. Of course, we had a little bit of a lull because of the pandemic, but that's when the majority of the record was recorded. Actually.
Yeah, I think that's the kind of the coolest part about like this whole band is like a lot of the record, a lot of the album was recorded during the pandemic when we were on lockdown. You know, we had these, what am I trying to say? The curfews. We had curfews.
Right, yeah.
And we were like risking our lives, you know, coming to practice, and we were.
This guy
Definitely. You're talking to a Florida audience here.
Yeah.
That was very cinematic.
Our listeners barely changed their
They
lifestyle.
were, like, this is a true story.
They were-
We canceled an event that we had going on, and we were getting death threats from her. We were getting letters. You pussies! What are you doing, Tom and Dad? Remember that? Or people are yelling at us.
I
We're
wake
like,
up
look,
for this. Where
we're
are you?
trying to be respectful
Yeah.
to our audience,
Yeah.
and people are like, I thought you were strong.
They're like, I'll wear a mask in public, but that's it. Nothing else.
Man.
So, how many songs on the album?
7?
Anybody's
8,
songs?
There's
Whose
like
songs
8
got
or
cut?
9.
Whose songs got
Every
cut? in there?
Jester song got
Every
cut.
Jester song is gone.
R.I.P.
Out of there. No,
R.I.P.
no songs got cut.
And
No songs got
Jester's
cut.
a man, right? Like,
Yeah.
He used to be one.
Yeah,
You
he said
don't
hi
know.
to.
We don't know.
He
He
said
said
hi
he had
to-
surgery last week. I don't know what
No
happened.
idea.
Jester, shout out to Jester. Sorry you couldn't be here. Does he wear a Jester hat?
He used to.
We won't let him.
In a former band, he used to.
Yeah.
I feel like once you wear the Jester, you can never get rid of it. It's like the Tony Soprano of hats.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
to be fair to Jester, he told me to tell you guys. He says hi. You guys should remember him from Bad Santa and the Angry Elf.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. We know that guy.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, absolutely. I know that guy.
So I may be wrong about this, but it seems like there's not that many funk bands, at least that I hear of. Like, in fact, you guys are the only funk band that I could name locally or within
So
a couple hundred miles.
That goes back to not really being a funk band, because if you think of any bands that are funk here, they're straight funk, straight cover, too many horns. I'm gonna be quiet now, but like cover and funk, they're not original.
Don't
funk.
burn any bridges.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah, I think the name could be a little confusing for people at times. We've shown up to places like in South Carolina. They're like, "Oh man, we've been dying to hear some funk," and we kind of look at each other like,
Well,
"Man, we
don't do
got
that.
a couple funk songs,
Man,
but a lot of them are again. There's those genre crossers, you know."
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
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 And that goes along with it too, because it opens in the funk genre. Really, it's a huge
It's
spectrum.
wide.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
sure.
a wide spectrum, and I mean it goes from like your most like kind of soul R&B to your heavy rock, like
Hip hop too, you know.
hip hop as
Yeah.
well. Like
Yeah.
I mean,
Rap.
dance music,
Yeah.
like,
Hip-hop.
funk can inhabit almost any genre really. So that's it just takes the ear to find the rhythm and find the groove, and anything that has a groove, and that's most genres have some sort of groove going on. So everything can be funky.
Yeah, it was always weird to me as a young kid growing up, seeing like bands like the Beastie Boys that you knew were rooted in like originating in like punk rock music and skate culture, and then you saw them go rap. But then at the same time, you'd see them do instrumentals in their instrumental incarnation, and it would be more like a traditional funk band. You'd have a guy playing like congas. You'd have a guy on the bongas. You'd have auxiliary percussion. They'd be using wind chimes and stuff to make it like
Absolutely.
very sexy and funky. And it just, I think that you do.
That's a good.
Well, you get more
comparison.
leeway, I feel
Yeah.
like, when you do what you guys do. I would say that you guys are kind of like I don't know, it is hard to explain.
Yeah, and I think and it's tough, right? Because if you look at the name, for people who go, are out of town, never heard of us, heard the music, they see funk or they see orchestra, and
Right.
they just they come to a conclusion of what they're gonna be hearing, but they'll get something that's across the board. Like I said, there are shows that will perform to where there might be a jam for a 45-year-old woman, and then there's jams for the 25-year-old kids, not kids but young adults. And it's that way. And then sometimes it's just like people are just blown because it's different. It's not like that cookie cutter sound that Dizzle's kind of describing. It's experimental and it's out there, and it's
Man,
I like
well
that.
said. That was awesome.
My man.
Well said.
Can we write
Great.
that down?
I memorized
Write
it.
that down. Tom said something I wrote down
recorded,
earlier. I want to throw it by. Hold on. Where are we going to find this? Where is it? It's so good. Hold on. I got to find this.
So-
I don't want you guys to leave. Okay, here it is. I got it.
come on.
I'm going to throw this out.
Come
This
on.
is really good. It's the business of life.
God damn it.
Okay, hold on. Let me
I was just doing an improv a commercial.
Yeah, just listen to it. Just listen to me.
I'm listening.
It's powerful. It's the business of life. do the best that you can.
Oh man, that's a commercial for
How
sure.
good is that?
That's a t-shirt.
He admitted that.
It's in the air now, though.
He was doing a
It doesn't
commercial.
mean anything.
He was doing a commercial about either Streamline or Bart Merrick Team or two of our clients. This is
Yeah.
when this guy's got the goods. And he looks at me at the end and he's just improvising. He goes, "It's the business of life. Do the best that you can." I shut the equipment off. I took my headphones off. I was like, this guy's got the goods. It is amazing.
That's a car commercial.
That's a gold
That's an
mine.
insurance commercial.
That
That's
you could either sell something or put somebody through an existential crisis,
Yeah.
whichever comes
Yeah.
first.
So
I feel like
speaking
that's the funkiest thing you've ever said.
speaking of the business of life, let's talk about the business of a funk band.
Yeah, see what he did with the segue there? God damn,
Nice.
this guy's a
That's
king.
why you guys are married.
So
huh?
we know there's touring and there's ticket sales and like album sales is hard nowadays.
It
So
is
they
hard.
get Spotify doesn't pay anything. Like they're paying. We'll give you 1 penny for every
Half a
every
penny.
10 downloads.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, what?
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So the like, what is the business moving forward? Is it just trying to expose yourself to as many listeners as possible? Do you have to like put out snippets on social media? Hopefully that like your songs
That's what
go
comedians
viral.
have to. Our comedian friends are like, all they
Yeah.
complain about is social media.
Yeah, all they do
And
is
they're tired of it.
put up crowd work clips and hoping one will get
How much time you guys
500,000.
got? Like,
Well, what I'm just curious of what your guys. How do you look at
straight
it?
up, we're in the process, or we're in the state of ticket sales, merchandise sales, album sales. You know, if we make $25 every 4 months on Spotify, that's that. You know, the goal is to put ourselves in front of as many people as possible. If we can get licensing deals with commercials and, you know, things of that nature, that would help with, like, you know, more residuals. But honestly, there's not really any residuals in this game anymore. Like, even if we get licensed for movies, like, there's no residuals. You get that check and that's it.
One of the things that I've noticed is, you know, we use it here in doing commercials. There's a website that you can adhere to or sign up for, and there's many of them. Ours is called like Story Blocks, and they buy music from creators like you, but it's the same thing. It's just like Spotify. So again, I can go in there, I subscribe for like, let's say $7 a month, and I have unlimited music that I can use that's royalty free, but these guys are still getting screwed. They're not getting really all this stuff's on there. Yeah, it's visible. Yeah, people are using it. But I don't know. I really worry about my musician friends, and because it's like, you know, it's just as diluted as what we're doing.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
think-
that happened back. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. But that started back with Napster. You know, like when that came out, that's when the whole trend of screwing musicians came afoot.
Yeah, and,
Sure,
you know,
yeah.
when there's
That's
no way
why
to
it's
make money off your
entertainment,
music,
Yeah.
but
Entertainment
selling
in
it.
general.
Right.
Man, remember like imagine the musicians, they got that sweet, going back to CDs, CD money.
yeah,
like,
yeah.
like they just sit
Dude.
back and
Selling
make.
in the trunk of your car, bro.
Well, you want that last one, right? You want that
30
last
million.
one right before CD or MP3s, like right before they were burning them.
Right before the
You
internet.
want that sweet NSYNC Bye 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 album. That,
Oh, they got screwed. Well, you'd have to own your own.
well, I mean, I'm
yeah,
just
yeah.
saying
Yeah.
that's when it was selling. Like that's when there was not
You didn't
quite
have to
digital.
tour.
Yeah, it wasn't quite digital yet.
Yeah,
it
yeah.
was there.
People would buy the whole album
Yeah.
for $19.99. You know, like,
Yeah.
and then
Burn it for the France.
But what I mean is there was a sweet spot where you'd almost want both, and I found this out through my wife because she's younger than me. I mean, you can go figure, but it's like she would buy the CD and buy the MP3. There's a sweet spot
Yeah.
when you wanted the physical media plus you wanted the MP3, and
On
that's
your
when you got
computer.
stinking rich. That's when like Celine Dion, your big these legacy artists,
Yeah.
your
easy to buy. You don't have to go
Yeah.
down to Specs.
Yeah.
Or, Peaches.
Yeah, but you would. See, you'd buy the MP3 day of, and then you'd source the physical media and buy that too, and they got you twice.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's when you got
on the
stupid
on
rich.
the other hand, though, what is good now is that we own our own masters. We own our rights.
Nice.
Yeah.
But we can't reach that other level unless we have the help of those guys at
The promotional power.
you
Yeah.
know?
Right.
That's a hard thing to do because then if someone comes to you and like, hey, sign over half of your rights, but we'll help promote it, and then you have to do the math of like, maybe this will
Right.
make more than if we owned 100%. But it's all a gamble at a certain time because like you don't want to give it up, and then next thing you know, and you don't hit it rich, and you're like, well, now I only own half of it. Like it is a hard gamble. The music industry is it does
think
seem like
you-
an insane amount of luck mixed with just an endless grind.
Endless.
Yeah.
Endless,
But
dude.
but to add to that, it's
Yeah.
like nowadays it's like as much as you're not going to make money through aggregators that are online.
Yeah.
You go into a CD Baby or something like that, they'll disperse your music everywhere. Now you can have a following of 100 people. If those 100 people buy your merch, they support, come to your shows, they tell people, those are the people that can keep you afloat and actually put a lot of money in your pocket.
Yeah, you don't need the tens of thousands anymore. Like we said that with podcasting.
That's why it's so important to have
couple
people
hundred.
come to the shows.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like when you come on our show and we talk about it, and then people hear this like, oh, I'd like to check these guys out. Understand that the pendulum is back to where if you go to a venue here locally in town and you see UFO play, that you're helping them. Like it matters now again.
Yeah, and that's sorry. I'm just to finish. I'm gonna wrap it up.
worries.
That's what we want. That's our aim, right? We don't. I don't know if I'm speaking for everyone, but I see a vision of us having a niche audience that travels with us. If we're in Orlando, they're coming from Atlanta to Orlando. If we're in Atlanta, we're whatnot, and they're buying everything. So I see that as a vision for us to have a niche audience that's just loyal and follows us.
Yeah, and just to add to what you're saying, I mean, it becomes very grassroots at this point. Where you're at the shows, you do have merch, because like you said, the streaming doesn't really pay much, but there are a couple of avenues, like we have the vinyl record for sale,
Nice.
and then as well as like different outlets like Bandcamp, which let you keep all your royalties and people can buy your music, And so those are two different avenues for the music. But then in this day, it seems that merchandise seems to do way better, So people will more than likely buy a T-shirt or the hoodies we
merch.
had. Yeah. So
Sick merch.
as long as you have cool merch, people will be attracted to that, and it's got your name on it. It will get them to the music, and hopefully that garners more.
Jim Colbert said on his show the other day that the phrase "get her done" is not copywritten. And I can't get it out of my head. I can't get it out of my
That's
head.
gotta be copyrighted.
He told me and his audience
So do it.
that it's not copyrighted, and I'm thinking about
Or ju-
selling
or just
"Get Her
spell it
Done"
different.
Tama Danberg,
Do it.
Oh, we've been sued out of existence.
but it's not copyrighted.
Yeah, they
Just
can.
go on the internet and file.
One of
I just thought of that. I spell it
Joe
differently.
Mary the Cable Guy's
Yeah, yeah.
lawyers had to have copywritten. Anyway, I have a business idea for you guys.
Oh, I knew you did.
So along the same lines as merch, right? You sell UFO mushroom gummies. Okay, follow me here. So he
I'm in.
because I see these on my Facebook feed. They're like mushroom gummies, and then there's a cartoon of some guy looking out a bus window, and then there's like doom and gloom, and then on the mushroom gummies, it's all rainbows.
Yeah. When he eats the gummies, the stuff he's looking at turns into great stuff.
But
yeah.
and
I've
because
seen that.
everybody's into like mushrooms and but you
No, we're all just into doing drugs, and like we've got to a point now.
Desensitized,
where
bro.
we're
it's
all,
way
like-
desensitized.
Yeah, where everybody's just like we're all on drugs now.
but you can't sell the psilocybin ones because they are illegal, right? Because you'll the cops will eventually
I don't know
put
what
it on the
works
back.
anymore. I order THC seltzers online.
Okay.
They deliver them to my daughter, and she's 9.
So that's what you do because the THCA
now?
and the Delta,
We
whatever.
don't, but we don't do
Yeah.
the fake crap. We hate the fake crap.
No. But this is about the money.
Yeah.
Dizzle.
I'm with you. Shut up. I'm with you.
You're resting on your
I'm
balls.
gonna whisper
You're
something to
fake
you.
when you want to be rich.
I'm gonna whisper
This guy
something
wants to be
UFO
rich.
is
That guy wants to be
totally
rich.
organic.
Lil wants to be rich. I forgot which one's Lil.
Dizzle, you
Where's the
don't-
McDonald's at? UFO Big Mac while we're at it. Let's go.
You don't have to use your own.
And so
like you're just gonna sell it. You're not gonna use it.
So you buy the mushroom gummies, which are all just some sort of roots or whatever. It's not even. It's just
Yeah,
some
yeah.
BS that
Some
does
Could
nothing.
be anything in
chemicals.
there.
And then you take a dropper of the THCA or the Delta 9 or whatever,
Yeah.
and you put some
Just
real
squirt a
Delta
little
9
on
on
there.
each one.
Trying to get us arrested, my guy.
No, but this is this is
Totally
legal.
fine. That's
Listen,
an agricultural
They're,
loophole.
they're giving it away in Sanford. I saw the line. The chronic guru,
That's
the
true.
porn guy.
I had a young girl.
He's selling weed.
I had a young girl that looked like I had a young girl yell at me because I'm like, hey, what's going on over there? She yells in my face. She goes, if you're in line, they're giving away an eighth of free weed. And I'm like, what is happening? And
That's
she's
happening.
like, yeah, the porno guy's giving away weed.
UFO mushroom gummies. You sell them at the merch
right,
Sell them on the table.
Yeah, and then everybody's taking them, and then
Yeah.
they feel it. They're like, "Oh my God, something's happening," because they're
And then
getting the
you're just
Delta 9.
counting the money, man.
Yeah. And then when you ingest marijuana, you guys know it gives you kind of that psychedelic. You know, like,
They don't know. They won't know.
Yeah, you feel you know. Like, I ate a bunch of weed the other day, and I started tripping. I think. Like,
So do we need a consent form with these?
No. You're
no,
going to be
no,
in and
no.
out before the consent form.
They won't know where it came
This is a
from.
turn and burn
Back
scenario.
up, back it up. They got it. We got
and
it.
I honestly think it's legal. Like you can sell Delta 9.
I don't
They
think
sell it
anybody
at
knows
gas
what. I
station.
don't think anybody knows what's happening anymore. I go to
Mushroom
full
gummies.
gas stations. I'll go to a gas station. I'll just walk up there with just a Diet Mountain Dew. I go to set it down. To the left, there's a glass case with weed in it. Like weed.
Right.
It like
The
like
pipes.
like
That's the
no.
Delta
I'm
One
talking
enters-
about
no, no,
I'm talking
nugs of
about
weed.
nugs of weed. I'm like, well, what is that? There's Delta 9. I'm like, all right, that's fine. Okay.
And then the back
guess
of your
you-
head starts
I
itching,
guess-
and you're like, I love it.
yeah, I guess anybody can do
You're
anything.
smoking. You're like, oh my!
I'm not kidding you. I
How's
bought
this possible?
THC seltzers. I bought mimosa flavored. I bought Arnold Palmer flavored.
They're
I
at
bought-
our beer fest.
And fruit punch. I bought 3 of them. They delivered it to my house. Maisie answers the door. They're like, here you go, little girl. Load her up with THC. She's like, Dad, your mimosas are here. I'm like, what? I'm like, where did you get that?
Once again.
So where can people find not only the new album but also your music?
Yeah.
On the chronicguru.com website.
Click the video of your choice, and he will tell you where to go.
Yo, how funny is that though? Like I used to see him, and like, there's no way this,
Oh, I know
this
you
guy's
used
from
to see him.
Sanford.
We all used to see him.
Yeah, no, I know.
Are you looking for the best weed in Sanford, Florida? Look no further than Chronic Guru. Ain't that right, Allie?
I'm just scrolling for
Everybody knows that. We all got it burned into our brains.
Yeah, it's got it burned into
I've
our
watched
brain.
that guy do an advertisement for Chronic Guru 1,000,000 times on the toilet.
Yeah.
And then, by the way, also we tried to advertise Tom and Dan on
Pornhub, denied.
Pornhub, and they
Denied.
won't let us.
Denied. They're like, you're vulgar. Get out of here. I'm like, well, you let Chronic Guru do it. They're like, he doesn't make D jokes.
Have you seen the videos? There's
Yeah.
secretly recorded husband and wife
like
videos. on here.
his ad ran before a video where a dude stuffed him in a. You know the video I'm talking about. Yeah, everybody knows that video.
And it looks like it's surveillance camera footage. Like, no one. Anyway,
But he gets you. You're like, yes, I do kind of want to buy some weed in Sanford.
Now that you mention it.
so where can people get the new album when it comes out?
On our website, universal.orchestra.com.
Yep.
Universal what?
Universal Funk. Is it Universal Orchestra or Universal
You guys
Funk
don't know our own
Orchestra?
website?
I go to the
Get it right.
Instagram. The
Oh, I
Instagram
like-
is the hub for me.
I like that
we
you
got all
guys
the
are the
links
Tom
there.
and Dan band. You know, what's the website again? I don't know. What's the
Universal.
website?
Go to universalfunkorchestra.com. Keep it
Okay.
simple.
Thank
And you
you.
can find everything, our social media, our music on the website.
You want to find the best funk in Sanford, Florida?
That's a good idea.
You can
Porn
swap
up.
right.
You can ain't that right, Dizzle? And then you do the thing.
It's just me and
And
Billy
then-
back here.
And you're dressed like Allie, because Allie is on the computer, and then when he says that, she like looks up like, I don't want my parents to see this.
My Uncle Joe's gonna watch this while he's you know what he's doing.
Oh, my dad's in the babysitter videos.
Oh, sorry. All
right, we gotta get out of here.
Yeah, I was gonna say too. Like as far as sorry.
No,
please,
please.
go
No,
ahead,
you're
go ahead.
good. You're
Hey,
good. You're on the
go
floor.
for it,
You're on the
go for it.
floor. You're
Yeah,
on the floor.
not only can you find us at universalfunkorchestra.com. We also have some album release parties coming up. If you're in the Orlando area, we're gonna be at D's Brothers in Sanford.
Oh, that's
on
a great spot.
November 23rd, and then we're going to be back in Orlando at Will's Pub on Saturday, November 30th. So
Yeah.
if you can make it, definitely a time to pick up the first copies of the vinyl, see our hear the new music for yourself. We'll have CDs, and I'm looking for the guy that's braiding, if he's going to come with.
Yeah. Eric will be out there braiding hair. And he braids all ethnicities of hair. Because I don't want anyone to feel left out.
Yeah. He'll do
No
everything.
He'll do
on the breed.
but he
Yeah.
does specialize in like traditional African. I made sure to look at the black people when I said that.
Right in the eye.
Right in the eye. Why? I don't want people to think I'm scared.
That's why you can't be on Pornhub. That's why.
I don't want people to think I'm scared of black people because a lot of white people are scared of black people.
Why?
And I am not.
I don't know.
I'm an
I don't know.
ally. I'm an ally.
Happy but we're gonna come out to Bad at Business and pass out some handouts if that's cool with you guys.
And this is perfect after our beer fest.
Well,
Go
Dee's
check
brothers,
out
they're going to be
Universal
at the
Funk
beer fest,
Orchestra.
so
Yeah.
Awesome.
come hang out. You guys, they make really good beer. So
Yeah, man.
so yeah, come on out and hang with
they're
us.
gonna brew our own batch of beer. It's called Thunder and Lightning.
Thunder and Lightning.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah,
Yes.
Oh, that's killer, man.
We're there in the tasting, so it's great.
Tom just did a whole segment about how he doesn't think that's a very big deal anymore when you get your own beer.
Why did you say that? I was improving. I said something. Why don't we bring that up around our friends?
That's 2 for 2. That's 2 for 2.
Wait, I can't tell you nothing anymore. I'm just sitting here. I don't even believe that. I just said it. I don't believe half the things I say.
So we're gonna bring you some crappy beer and some acid for
Oh, it's
Bad at
good
Business.
beer.
I literally just I made myself cry.
I'm just saying that a lot of people they put the label on them. They're like,
Tom
That's all we did,
But then you
dude.
said you were there at the tasting, which makes it different. But Tom was saying that a lot of people lie. Oh my God, I made myself cry.
Universal Funk Orchestra. Catch them at their album release party.
Oh, the chat room says I'm bullying you. Good.
Find them on Google.
Yeah, Instagram is the
Just
place.
search it.
You
It's
said
awesome.
Instagram is the main
Universal
spot.
Funk Orchestra.
And
And
you-
if you type in Universal Funk Orchestra, you should be able to find it.
You can also call us UFO. So
Yeah.
UFO. Go find them, guys. Thanks
You
so
got
much
some
for
awesome
coming
merch,
in.
by the way.
Thank
Your
you.
your
Thank
merch
you.
is on point.
Well, ours is
never say
not
that.
because I'll continue with my honesty.
get it
Ours
done.
is not
Get it
because
done.
Eric
Get her
says
done.
nothing is selling.
Nothing is really.
Free braid with every shirt. You get a Tom and Dan shirt, one braid
Oh,
on
Eric will love that. Free braid. Free braid, one per family.
All right.
hey, thanks so much for having us.
Oh,
Yeah,
man,
no problem.
we just like
Appreciate
screwing
it.
around, and anytime we can help
Yeah.
you guys out, and we've known Dizzle for a while, and it's great to finally get all you guys in here. So thanks for being good sports.
Absolutely.
And guys, we will be right back.
Welcome back to a corporate time. Let's do some voicemail.
Voicemail messages. You can leave us a voicemail one of two ways. You can call 1-844-TOMNDAN. Do it that way. That's the old school landline way. Or you can use our app. All of our content's on there, totally free. You can hit a little button that says mediocre messages, and you can leave us a message like this one right here.
What's up, Tom and Dan? My wife and I were talking about how when we were kids, we would call into the radio stations and have them play music for us. And we would get so excited when the DJ would come on and say, "This song goes out to Eric," or whatever. And so she told me to call you guys and request a song. She would like you to play My Sharona. Thank you.
You're the younger kind, my.
I do like the song My Sharona. Our kids, is there a version of this for our kids? Like, is there something where Tommy, Max, and Maisie are watching it, they're participating, they're watching it live, and they have the ability to send a message to the broadcaster or the sports star, or the singer, the something,
This is
streamer,
Yes.
streamer maybe?
This is equivalent to the streamer referencing someone in the chat room. Now, that's the 2024 version of calling a radio station. Is you're in the chat room and you say something and the streamer says like,
"Thank you, Tom."
Yeah.
Okay, so I did
Yeah.
it earlier today. I'll give you one, a real one. The lead singer of Ballyhoo.
My name would be Twain 305.
Okay,
by the
Twain
way.
305. Thank you, Twain 305.
Uh.
The lead singer of Ballyhoo, I'm blanking on the guy's name, but he streams every day.
Yeah.
And I don't know why he does because no one watches it. No, that is one of the things I think about. But I always jump in there to watch him a little bit and support him because he's a nice guy. And I said, "Hey, you've been on our show. Greetings from Orlando and Sanford," because he plays the West End a lot. And he gave me a shout out back. He's like, "Oh, I remember you guys. Thanks so much." Howie's his name.
Okay. So it's not as good if you could see that there's no one watching it.
Yeah,
So, like,
yeah,
you
there has
see
to
the
be a
number.
lot of people in there.
So the radio was interesting because in your
You thought
in your mind
You assumed.
millions.
No, but you were right. There
You're
were
like millions of people are listening to this, but it's probably
thousands.
or comparable to the people in the chat room if it's a small enough radio station.
But it was probably thousands.
Yeah,
or
yeah.
at least hundreds.
Yes.
I guess I think you could make the argument that because there were less radio stations, that the radio station is more rare.
Yes. There were more listeners because there was less to listen to.
Correct.
Same thing with like why the season finale of MASH is the highest rated season finale ever and will never be beaten because there was just not that much.
Yeah, you're out of Yellowstone, right? You're done with that? Did you give up?
I'm going back.
Are you going back in?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thursdays.
What happened to
back,
that,
baby?
What happened to that lady?
Rip is back.
No, but what happened to the lady that plays Beth Dutton? Has she suddenly lost all of her acting ability? Have you seen the trailer for the second half of the season?
Yeah, no.
It's trash. Just from the trailer, straight trash.
Us Stonies, we don't like good acting.
Okay. I'm a Stoney. I'm a Stoney.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No, how dare you? You never watch every episode. I watch every GD episode.
Oh, I thought you meant like, okay. I'm
No. That's what we call Yellowstone
I'm
fans.
not a Stoney. You're right. I'm not a Stoney.
We like our acting dull.
Dull and lifeless.
Yeah. I like
our acting unbelievable and over the top.
I want my shows I want to wonder, is this a TV show or a Chevy Silverado commercial? Like, I'm confused by what the hell I'm watching.
It's the new trailer. I have to find it. Is this it? Yeah, this is the yeah. Okay, this is the one. I have to play this for you. Have you seen that? This is the trailer.
And I don't like when they reference that Rip killed lots of innocent people that didn't deserve to die.
He's a monster.
And
did you know he was a monster?
He's a true American hero.
He's a monster. Okay,
who's fighting for freedom.
Everyone's forgotten who runs this valley.
Everyone just forgot who's running this country. Are they doing this? Are they doing this on purpose? Are they? They are.
Of course
right?
they are. I got one going.
You got one going. Yeah, fight. You got to fight.
Costner. By the way, I thought
you want to fight. 3 fight.
I thought Costner was suing them.
I thought he was too.
Yeah. So he must have worked it out.
And he pops up. Okay, let's continue because you got to finish this.
Time to remind them.
No, the best part is they go to Beth and she has this terrible line.
Family legacy is this ranch.
And I'll protect it with my life.
They just push your buddy off a cliff.
I know I have multiple people trying to kill me and my family, but I sure do have a lot of time to sit on my front porch and look out at my land. You would think that I have to be getting up and moving and doing things at all time. I'm running for governor. I think he is the governor. I'm the governor.
I'm the sheriff. I'm the governor.
I have like 25 people trying to kill my daughter and family.
And I have a pit with 1,000 bodies in it.
I have 1,000 bodies I'm trying to hide, but I have a lot of time to sit and sip coffee on my land and just look out at the mountains.
I want to. Where's her phrase?
That's all I do.
I gotta find her phrase. Hold on. It's at the end.
All the risk.
And then
here it is.
I'll bang some hippie protesters every once in a while when they come sniffing around. I'll bang them good.
Here it is.
This war's just beginning.
The only thing left to do is to kill as much as you can before they kill you.
The only thing left to do is kill as much as you can before they kill you. That sounds like some rhetoric to me.
Damn.
Oh, that is horse crap.
I treat the only guy who loves me like garbage.
Now, I've only watched the parts you've told me to watch because you steered me. You said, Google Beth Dutton takes a bath. So I did. I like a good
They used to have more teas and killing, and then they...
then it became...
Yeah, it became a Chevy Silverado commercial.
So I would go, and because I do trust you, I trust our good business department. He's like, hey, Dad, you need to Google Beth Dutton takes a bath. I Google it. Hey. Yeah. This show might be for me.
In the horse trough.
That's a little gross. That's a yeast infection right there. That's worse than back to front.
Yeah.
I feel like if my wife went to take a hot bubble bath in a horse trough, I'd be like, that's worse than back to front. That's worse than you're gonna get a yeast infection.
Yeah. More than that, I think. There's horse snot.
You got some.
Yeah.
What's in there?
There's amoebas.
I don't know what's in there.
Yeah. I mean, it's
horse amoebas.
The water's been sitting in there for a long time.
It's a stagnant.
And they're doo-doo.
There's probably parameciums.
Yeah.
And there's definitely bird doo-doo.
So it's back.
Okay, good to know. And you're back in. You are going to finish it. I'm glad because you had said that season
Well-
5 you got mad that they were killing everybody and they were lawless, and you were like, it's unbelievable,
No.
and it's a Chevy commercial, and you said, I'm out.
No, I'm mad that they got away from the initial premise of these people would do whatever it takes and kill innocent people just to keep their
Where
land.
did the Native
And
Americans play in?
They had to they're like, we can't do what we want, what our fans want, we'll kill them too.
Right.
Or give them smallpox.
Yeah, mass deportation.
So
or
we
something.
kind of
Yeah.
have to like work hand in hand, and then like our son.
It's a hold your nose scenario.
Our son has to be half.
Did he fall in love?
Like he's married to a Native American.
Okay.
And then the Kevin Costner's grandson is half Native American.
Oh yeah.
So he's half and half.
Yeah.
And so
that's called somebody's grandpa goes to the breakdancing tournament. Right? Sometimes a grandpa has to go to a breakdancing tournament he doesn't want to go to.
So Kevin Costner, he loves his grandson. He'll teach him how to fish,
Yeah.
but he calls him the N-word behind the closed doors.
Really? He's racist?
Well,
in the character, he's racist towards the Native
no,
Americans?
no.
Oh, you're
No.
saying you think he is.
I'm saying I know his character is. That's what
Reality would say.
Yeah. Us Stonies know in the
Yeah.
Reddit boards. We should get out there and we're like, we know what he says about his grandson.
You know,
He doesn't say it on the show, but I know Kevin Costner.
Yeah.
Whatever his name
Not
is.
to throw a wet smallpox blanket on all those fun.
Oh.
Did you hear the story about the actor from Dances with Wolves?
Which one?
He's a Native American actor. He played, I forget the guy he played in the particular movie. He was very young, I believe, when he starred in Kevin Costner's Dances with Wolves. He went on, from what I understand, I'll give you the short of the long. I guess he tricked other Native American women on other reservations that he was a Native American medicine man. He would earn their trust, and then he would sexually assault them.
Oh
yeah,
man.
Yeah.
It's a different kind of dancing.
It's a different kind of dancing.
Yeah. That's how. Oh man.
Yeah, it was bad. It was really bad. But he was
yeah.
calling himself like a shaman or a medicine man and going around and using sort of the primitive Native American ideologies that they still believe in to gain their trust, and then really bad.
Yeah, that's called
He's a monster.
Dancing with Cosby.
Yeah, that guy, don't make me laugh. It's a terrible person.
All right, we'll be right back.